All right. All right. You're really annoyed. What? You'd be really annoyed if I am. Oh, that's great. I am live on Substack. All right. So I apologize to all the folks who are now hearing me echo. Yeah, like that. Okay, learning some stuff. All right. I'm gonna go get some coffee and then let's get the show on the road. All right. Okay. Oop. 5 minutes before the scheduled time. We go live in 5 minutes before the schedule. All right. All right. Learning a bit about different platforms. All right. There does not seem to be a way to mute the Patreon window until I go live, and it won't let me do that until I actually go until 5 minutes prior. So I get to listen to me go for 5 minutes. This is all part of the fun. Modern technology. All right. So let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Hello. Let's see. Good morning. So can I turn that? Okay, yeah, I can go live now. All right, sorry. There we go. All right. I do apologize to the one person that just showed up on Substack. I was not able to mute the Patreon thing. The Patreon uh, monitor, my Patreon monitor. I was not able to mute that until I actually went live, and it wouldn't let me do that until until 5 minutes prior to the scheduled live stream start. So, not sure what the deal with that is, but whatever. I'm figuring out the new streaming platform issues. But hey, the good news is now streaming both on Substack and on Patreon. I am like absolutely thrilled that got sorted, and now I am able to talk to my and live stream for my community on both sides. It was an obnoxious period, but it but it wound up being good stuff came from it. Yeah, I feel like there's probably a word for that, serendipity, maybe, in which like you have to go through an annoying little thing, but it actually winds up being better in the end. So yeah, let's see. So yeah, but I got now know how to because Patreon put the kibosh on me, or for whatever reason was not allowing me to live stream for a spell. It actually drove me to figure out how to live stream on Patreon or on Substack. So now here we are. Now here I am live streaming on both. Yay! Hope y'all are as thrilled as I am. Let's see. Probably not, but please know that I am thrilled, and you may be happy for me vicariously. Yay! Yes, thank you. Thank you, John, and thank you especially for being the hero of the Canon Evangel Chapter 6 Kickstarter. This is the man that pushed us over the funding goal. Hero of the day. Let us let his name be sung and immemorialized. John the Four. There you go. I hope you like it. Meow. There we go. And let's see here. What else? So, where were we? As I first I should say, good morning. I hope wherever you are, I hope it is as gorgeously beautiful as it is in Minnesota today. It is just like the most ridiculously beautiful, stereotypical uh, uh, May Day. My cat Stinker says hi. He's been a chatty catty of late. He is a yes, a year. He is a geriatric cat, so I'm so whether he's just suffering cognitive decline or just yeah, or he's going deaf or what, we're not sure, but he's just been extra. He's just been extra the last couple days, the last couple months. So yes, there you go, cat. There you go. Anyway, so got a beautiful spring day, got a geriatric cat, got some art to make. Isn't that fun? We just got it all lined up. It's all lining up here. So, what more could you want? Do. I am a little sad this morning, a little bumming because my daughter's track and field day. We are expecting some storms here this weekend and into Monday, and so my kids have a track and field day. Good morning, Brooke. My kids have a nothing heroic here. I'm no Homelander. Well, I'm glad you're not Homelander. That's a good thing. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, my kids' track and field day got bumped because of inclement weather expected on Monday and Tuesday. So, and unfortunately, it's now going to be while I am at Denver Fan Expo. So I'm a little sad about that, but I will be. There will be phone calls. There will be. Uh, there will be how to go. There will be video chats. There will. That's it. And I'll do my best to make it up to him. Let's see. That that is how it goes when you're a hard traveling man, unfortunately. My former brother, my former brother-in-law, Air Force guy. So and he was often deployed for months at a time, and I was always just like, how do you do that? Like, how do you how do you be gone from your family and your kids for that long? It's like, I mean, I got daddy guilt when I'm gone for the weekend. Anyway, so respect to everyone and anyone who, for whatever reason, their jobs, their duty, their what have you, takes them away from their families for long periods. That's that is rough, and I feel for you. Anyway, let's take it. Let's talk about what we're doing today. Let's see. So with our inks, we've been working on this a while. Long-time viewers uh, will know that we've been cranking away on this big illustration for quite some time. Let's see. And right now, I'm essentially just going through, and with the line work done, I'm essentially just going through and plopping in all of the flats. The tool, working in Photoshop, so the tool I use for this is the Paint Bucket tool. If you're more of a CSP person, I believe there is an equivalent tool there. Let's see. And so, yes, so while it is handy and does make a lot of things easier, you gotta keep your eye out for the fringe, the white fringe of evil that you get sometimes you when you place things down. So I'll call it out again, and then it also like has can mess with your line work a little bit. Well, I mean, it doesn't mess with the line work, but it doesn't always play nice with tight corners of line works. So, there you go. But it is also really handy to just go boop, 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 as you see, and and just kind of like plop them in there. And then another fun trick is that I can alternate between the paint bucket tool and the eyedropper tool. So if I need to reselect go here, and then I need to reselect this color here, I can just hold down the Option key and switch to the eyedropper. So let's see. So plugging those in. Want a slightly, do I want a darker one or do I want a lighter one? Okay, decided I want this to be more kind of a little bit more washed out gray color, blue gray. I still want the blueness there, but let's see. And then on the end, I got my handy dandy reference material over here. So you can see there's like a little bit of a darker in the middle there on the inside. So we're going to go. So we're going to make sure that's all covered up. And then we're going to do the color picker, take it a little bit darker. You want it darker? Let's go darker. And then as you can see here, don't know if you can see here on your screen, there's a little break in this line here. So if I just do the bucket tool, boop, it does the whole thing gray, but I don't want that. I just want the inner panel here to be that darker shade of gray. So I'm just gonna block that off, just create a little dam there essentially. And then boop, boop. And here, if you can see, Okay, so here's what I was talking about that fringing you can see around the edges. Okay, that it can create, that the paint bucket can create. So just gonna take a moment while I'm in the microscopic view. But here's the thing, like this is 100% magnification, and because I'm working on it 11 by 17, and it's ultimately going to and at 300 DPI, and when it reduces to a comic book page, it's actually going to be more like this size. So I'm not sweating that little fringing too hard, and when you work on it at a much larger size and at a high resolution, it actually makes it easier, or it actually makes the paint bucket tool more usable. So back here to our 100% magnification, boop, and just gonna keep chugging away and spotting those flats. This is what spotting flats means, also, by the way, for uh, for all those people who aren't in the know in the industry. Spotting flats is just, like putting down the flat colors. Putting down the flat colors only. We're not worrying about things like shading and highlights and all that kind of stuff just yet. That will be the next step. Let's see. Let's see. John says, old job. I was sometimes in a hotel for weeks at a time. It gets tough. Some years I was in a hotel room more often than my own bed. Wow. Yeah, that's rough. I don't envy it. Let's see. I used to travel around. I used to travel around doing caricatures, um, here and there across the country. Mostly I should say across the country, mostly the Midwest. Yeah, so in August I was like consistently just gone for 20 days. I'd be gone for 10 days, then I'd be home for a week, and then I would be back, and then I'd hit the road again for another 10 days. So yeah, that was pretty much my August. And yeah, kids make that hard. Yeah, I remember I would I remember I would t let's say I would come back after being gone for, like most of the month, and being like, holy crap, like you've grown, like visibly, noticeably, they'd grown a bit and had like new verbal skills and stuff like this. And I'm like, I'm missing it. I'm missing everything. So yeah, and that's kind of one of the reasons I uh, haven't stopped drawing caricatures completely, but still a reliable revenue stream for me. But um, I I've given up the shows that require me to be gone for literally literally most of a month at a time. Ah, congratulations on all the Marriott points, then. Hopefully you can use them for something a little bit more fun, or a funner trip. Mo- I said funner. It's a word. I said it. Fun, funner, funnest. All right. So we have got our Knigget. Got our Knigget going. And keep meaning to reach out to the client and getting that logo, this Liony logo thing that keeps appearing in places. But let's see here. So one thing that you notice is that this guy doesn't have any legs at all. Insert Monty Python legless knight joke here. That's it. But we can fix that. So I'm just check this out, kids. I'm just gonna freestyle it. Let's see. I'm just gonna, based on his proportions thus far, gonna like put his knee cappy protector, his knee pad thing like right about there. Doot, doot, doot. And there's just a knee there. And continuing that downward, actually going to overlap here slightly. I think that his ankle would fall about there. Yeah, so there we go. All right. Can't have a legless night. That doesn't go well. Got a few more spots where I might have to do little patches like that. But just stuff that I'm on the lookout for. Got his pants, and now that we're here, make sure you're on the right layer, because it sucks when you're not on the right layer. Got his pants there. Yeah, alright, cool. Looking good. But, and then... Mr. Bucket. Mr. Bucket. Yeah, Mr. Bucket. Boop. And then, boop. Nope, that was not what I wanted. Boop. Okay. And then, boot. Okay. And then now that so that guy's done. Now that I'm down here, noticing that we didn't quite finish this feller. Wait, no. That feller. There we go. So, gotta take care of that. As long as we're here. Alright. No worries, John. John says he's working and won't be watching, so you know it's a casual hangout kind of thing. So no pressure. It's kind of the vibe I'm trying to go for is just kind of like a art hangout kind of thing. If you have something to work on too, great. If not, that's okay too. You know, just background noise. Let me be your background noise. Okay. Actually gonna use... So, I suppose that probably means I should make some noise while I'm here. Yeah, I've been, let's see, spent some time this week looking at my summer schedule, and then I cried because I got my usual busy summer going on, and yeah, just occurred to me that I'm not gonna have a free weekend to myself for the next 10 weeks or so. After this, I will this coming weekend, but after that, it's this convention or that, this or that convention, and or time with the kids, which is good. Don't get me wrong. And you have summer vacations and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm a busy boy. And figuring out why my cat is broken. Well, no, I know what's wrong. I know why my cat is broken. That's not accurate. All right. There we go. Helmet. You went over my helmet? There you go. Coffee is good. All right. Who do I feel like doing next? Let's do Ninja Man here. Good old Ninja Man. There, find him on my reference. So this guy here. Cool. And let's see. Seems to be a lot of another one of these repeating colors. So I'm gonna yoink that from over here. Patch that while I'm here. Yeah. Let's see. check things out. One. Okay, good. A lot of little spikies and corners and such over here. So this is what I'm. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. So I'm taking this time to kind of patch those up, make sure there's a little bit of overlap. And boop. Really need to assign a hotkey to let's have fun and crank up the tolerance. See what that does for us. Oh, too much. Actually, no, that wasn't it. So, you'll notice it has all of these. The bucket tool has these controls up at the top here, not unlike the magic wand tool. So we're going to put those to good use with this one as well. With this as well. So, but he had a. Not sure if this is a lighting thing or if his tunic is kind of off-colored, but we're going to just do a very slightly off-white here. And then, boop, whoops. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah, that's way too much. All right, let's take it down to, where do you, let's have it. Dude, there we go. All right. But then you can see there's still these little wispy outline of shadows here, so good to get rid of those. Okay, bottom part of his tunic here. Doot, 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 doot. Cool. And then, actually, I think that might be more like this. Doot, doot. All right. Okay. Fingers. I've been watching him all my life. I ain't never seen him fing. Ta-da. Mm-hmm. And then his belto. And meow. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, buddy. And actually, I'm gonna having second thoughts here. I think maybe that's boop. Supposed to be more like that. There we go. All right, now. Oop. There we go. Fill that area in there. Now we're going to employ a fun little trick that I like to use when doing lightsabers sometimes. Hi. Yeah. You want to say hi to the people? Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, uh-huh. Right. All right, so select this. And then we're going to... contract the selection a little bit. I can find where I put that contract. There we go. And then we're going to go select, modify, feather. And let's start with 10. And we're going to do, so this makes it like soft on the outside. Then we're going to, oop, there. Hey, doesn't that look nice? Kind of cool. And then we are going to take that color again, and there's a little kind of a special effect. I think we're gonna maybe make it a bit lighter here. Gonna create a new layer on top of our line layer. And then we're just going to just gently trace the outside of the blade, the lines that we've already made so far. Hi. Okay, we need some lap time, is the thing. There we go. Hi, buddy. You're old. Yes. So, then we're going to just kind of trace the outsides with a soft brush. And it creates this meow. Yes, it creates a meow. And it kind of creates this more softer effect here. Yeah, see, I think you're feeling fine. Okay. I love you, but you can't be over here because you're going to poof the microphone. And everybody, hundreds, tens, a couple people are going to hear that. And we don't want to do that. So I hope you all appreciate that. I saved you from a whomp whomp noise in your ear holes. Now I'm the hero. All right. There we go. All right. Yeah. Dude. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna say, So again, kind of not as happy. I'm not as happy with it as I want to be, or as I could be. So I'm just going to set the brush to 50% opacity and just kind of trace over some of this stuff. There we go. And boom. Yeah. My cat thinks I'm boring. I mean, he's not wrong, but... Okay, just playing with this a bit. The special effect here. But yeah, there's really no filter. There's no filter or anything. There's no, you know, no layer chicanery. It's all just a solid color on a flat layer. And there you go. Ta-da! Ninja lightsaber thingy, go! Actually, and then see the little bit of the spill over here kind of creates a neato lighting effect as well. So I'm actually going to rename that layer so I know which one it is. I'm actually going to take it down and move it, put it on top of kind of all the background layer stuff that's going on here. All right. All right, rocking and rolling. And moving on, because now I want to turn it off for a skosh so I can address this gentleman with the wrench behind here. Yep. Always important to be on the right layer, or at the very least, a visible layer. Although maybe it is better to be on an invisible layer than the wrong layer, because then it at least reminds you to check it and make sure that you're on the right layer. All right, we got G. Oop, I have a soft brush. That's not good. Helpful. Yeah, you definitely want a hard brush, or a hard-edged brush when you're spotting flats. Yeah. There we are. I don't know why you wouldn't have that. Yeah. Being on the wrong layer is the worst, right, Brooke? Yeah, she knows. It just is. So, all right. This is gonna create a bit. All right, this is gonna create a bit of an issue here. Dude with black leather vest in front of a ninja. Ninja going to blend in to black leather vest a little bit. Which I suppose is, you know, what ninjas do. Blend in, hide in the shadows and stuff like that. Which is good for ninjas, but less good for artistic purposes. So, we'll probably wind up fixing that later with like highlights and shadows and stuff. Hoping that'll help this guy stand out a bit more. Then want boot white for this t-shirt. And let's see, boop. Let's see, he's got this pipe wrench, but so and he's got this pipe wrench and he's got these spikes. So I am all right here. All right, here you can really okay. Yeah, here's what I'm talking about when I talk about the limitations of the bucket tool. You can really see here, you know, it's all these little white bits and fringing and all this kind of stuff. So that happens here. So just gonna go around quick and touch that up. So, and the pipe is this kind of duller, rustier red. Gonna go with that. So I'm gonna make his horns and his spikes a bit of a brighter red here in just a minute when I get to it. There we go. All right. So speaking of, let's go here. There we go. Let's see. Yeah. Brooke asks a wonderful question if there's a way to increase the increase the threshold like you can in Procreate. Let's see. It would take some. The answer is definitely maybe. So that is a thing that I would also like to find that out. But you know, not going to stop the the live stream not going to bring the live stream to a grinding halt in order to do the googling. So that is something you make an excellent point. I might have to figure that out on my own time for less edge cleanup. Yeah, that would be nice. So score CSP in that corner. I also understand there are programs that will you can plug into Photoshop or actions you can plug into Photoshop that will create all of these random uh, colors within the like will detect edges and create random colors within stuff. And then you just go and that does overlap the lines a little bit, and then just you go through and correct do the color correction, select all the colors and make them the way what you want them to be. I have not played around with that, but I understand my flattest uses it. Zip. So I might, that's another one of those things that I might just have to take the time and look into it. Just not right now. Because I'm a live streaming. Let's see. So another way, as long as I'm here, another way. Let's pop over to our Leonine friend on the other side. And Google Food. Brooks being a pal. And Googling it. So we're going to bop over here and deal with our Leonine friend here. So I'm going to show you another way. So instead, we'll use the magic wand tool. Doot. The other way I'll use sometimes, use the magic wand tool. Doot. 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 And select all of the areas that have, like that we want to be a certain color. For, in this case, for instance, the kind of yellow golden lion skin. So then you do select, modify, expand by 2 pixels is usually good, and then you hit fill. And this is another one of those things that the action tools come in really handy for. You can create a fill command so that once you have the area selected, you can just go and do that, and then you don't have to. You can just hit the button, and then you don't have to, do all the pull-down menus and all this kind of stuff. Just does it all automatically. So, let's see. Okay. Oh, that's right. I was going to show you that thing again. Okay. So, just like the previous, select. Boop, and boop, and boop. And then we're going to select our denim color. And then, like I said, action palette, just hit the handy dandy fill button that I made previously. Cool. I want to know what this line guy's deal is. Okay. Okay, alright. Thank you, Brooke. Boop. And that's it. So So I do think no matter, I'll look into them, of course, but I do think that like no matter what one does, there's always going to be a degree of that, just cause, yeah, or certainly on my work that is tends to be a little bit more, shall we say, line heavy, and has little things like feathering like under the neck here. So, but never hurts to look and check it out. Buttons, buttons, buttons. Boop. All right. Okay. Oh, and then let's see. Our leonine friend has gray hair, so gonna create this little, again, kind of feathering effect down here. And so yeah, with all the hair, with all of the hairs, striations in there, yeah, there's really no two ways about it. Just gonna having to go through and just with the brush tool and just yeah, fill in all of these little places. All right, bada bing bang boom. All right, and then you kitty nosy. I'm gonna poop him right on his kitty snoot. Yeah, there he is. Yeah. Need his wrench. Boop. And naturally, I'm going to run into the same problem as the last wrench. Yeah. All right, another one down. Well, oh, got some things to patch up on the knees here and the jeans. This is the back of that guy's head. Doot. Need some what? There we are. Oh, Brooks on Brooks on both Substack and Patreon. How did I just notice that? All right, let's tackle our native-looking lucha guy. Right, yeah, this guy in the middle there. Okay, dokay. Boop, boop. Doot, 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 doot. I don't know where that came from. But I'm gonna roll with it. Sorry to everyone that I just earwormed. I'm taking you all down with me. Haven't thought about that song in a couple decades. Okay, what do I want to use for... Yeah. There we go. I think this looks a little bit more in line with what is on there. Yeah. All right. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah. So anybody heard any good jokes lately? I don't know. Let's see. And he's got this cool lining on his mask. I always think whenever I draw these things, man, I'm gonna hate myself later when I have to flat that, but can never bring myself to dumb it down. Yep, I was afraid of that. Poop. Oh well. Yeah, well. Mm. Okay. What am I doing? I don't know. Do you know? I don't. Let's see. All right. Lucha guy. Boop. And a boop, boop. And a boop, 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 boop. Doot, boop, boom, boom, boom. Boop. Yeah. Okay. All right, another one. Another one down. We're cruising. Boop. Nope. Alright. Don't forget to save your work, kids. Brooke wants to blow off work and play with Photoshop all day. Yeah, man, me too. I mean, I know I like work on Photoshop all day anyway, but I would like to it is I would like to be able to take some time to mess around with some stuff. You know what I mean? All right. Speaking of messing around with some stuff, we're going to take a minute here and so I think I want to shift all these purples down into like a more blue kind of thing. So I'm going to take the magic wand tool, turn off the sample all layers and contiguous boxes there. Then I'm going to select that, and then bada bing bang boom. It automatically selects all of the purple places of that same color. Handy dandy, if I do say so myself. And let's see. I'm bring it a little bit more in line with that. So I'm going to, with what I'm seeing in the reference photo. So I'm actually going to, there we go. Just nudge the hue adjuster thingy just a skosh. And because purple is kind of a tricky color to work with, and it gets real dark real quick and real easily. I'm going to use, and just pop up the lightness there for a little bit. So there you go. That little bit bluier purple is a little bit more of what we want. Like I said, what I'm seeing. So let's see. Ninjatron guy. All right. Yeah, good idea. Let's see. Seems pretty easy, black and white, but let's see. Again, don't want anything that will overwhelm. Oh, hey, I forgot a spike. Don't want to forget a spike. Oh, I gotta turn that back on. Fill. And boop. There we go. So, all right. Doot, 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 doot. Whoop. Okay, that's good. Boop. Actually, I'm gonna use a magic wand. Do, magic wand, magic wand. Won't you magic wand for me? Magic wand, magic wand. Select all these parts. Will you select all these parts, please? That's the reason I went into art and not music. All right. Boop. There we go. Hey, easiest one so far. Good job, me. Boom. Need to talk to the client, like get him to make more of his characters like two-tone or one color. Ta-da! All right, Lion Wizard guy. It's also going to get. Let's see. Lion Wizard guy. Lion Wizard guy. All right. Hey, Jason. Good morning. You look. Yeah. Yeah. I say Brooke. Getting the look from Brooke. Yes, I'm aware. Let's see. Let's see. Good morning, Jason. How are you doing this fine morning? Let's see. Dude. Still working on this big piece. Oh yeah, that's right. How was the trip to Munich? How many beers did you have? What do they have any left? Did you leave them any beers? Did you drink all the beer in Germany? Because I would be impressed. Oh yeah. Germany is indeed Germany, land of beer and pretzels. Where you do not cross the street against the light unless the crosswalk says go, or else you'll get such a look. Not speaking from experience or anything. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, nice. 1,000 people in each beer garden. Good. And you were one of them. I'm glad you had a good time. Nah, I'll have to check it. I'll have to check that out. Doot. Oh man. Yeah. I really hate to say it, but and this is not an endorsement of anything, but if I had to stick on one social media platform, it would probably be Facebook. Not because I like their business practices or anything, but it just does the thing that I want my social media to do, really, and that is basically on a personal capacity. So being an online being an online personality and creative professional, I use my social media in two capacities. One is for I have a personal use social media kind of thing, and then I have a business use social media kind of thing. And for like personal use social media, I do like Facebook actually. Like lets it does still let me keep track of my friends and my family and stuff, and see what people are up to, and see what, and even check out what events are going on in my locale. It's it's actually from a purely from a personal use and enjoyment perspective. Yeah, actually I do kind of like Facebook. I'm ashamed to say, but that's just because it does all the things that I want a social media platform to do. Uh, from a professional perspective, on the other hand, uh, yeah, Substack is kind of I don't know, is kind of my favorite social media platform at the moment. It's allowing me to put out newsletters and reach new followers in a way that no other social media platform has. And yeah, it's just kind of a one-stop shop for everything I need. Yeah, these are mostly for trip recaps, and Michelle makes something cool. Right? Yeah, yeah. Right? Like a photo album, travel log. Like it is a little bit embarrassing to me that, oh, I need I'm trying to look up a photo. I have no idea where it is on my desktop computer. Like I have an idea, but it would take me like 20 minutes of hard searching to find a certain photo on my desktop. But then I know exactly where it is on Facebook. So, yeah. Like even if I quit out all the other social medias, I'd probably still have some kind of presence on Facebook. That's how it goes. Or I'd peek into Facebook every once in a while, I should say. I kind of resent him for it, but eh, what are you gonna do? He's just pictures for Christmas calendars he sent out for Christmas. Yeah, right. Dave Barry is on Substack. Oh, hey, yeah. Right. His Guide to Guys is my favorite book. Yeah, I'm familiar, passingly. I have heard of Dave Barry. I cannot say I've read Dave Barry. Uh, okay. Okay, moving right along. Howdy there, cowboy. So this is an interesting one. I don't actually have colors for this reference. So colors for this one. So I get to wing it. So, what do I want to do here? Gosh, someone's asking me to be. I'm getting asked to be creative. Like, I don't know what to do. There we go. Actually, kind of like that. The roll the sleeves back kind of thing. There you go. Yeah. Have to use my thinky brain. Gonna have to use all of the crayons. Boop. There we are. This is gonna yes, this is a commission piece. This was for a long time as a I got longtime patron, Kickstarter backer, uh, and who also happens to be a self-publisher in his own right, based in Singapore. So it's been a lot of fun, and yeah, these are all characters from his metaverse. I believe this is going to be a cover for something. A book of some kind. A big crossover event, perhaps? I'm not entirely sure. Doot, doot. Actually. So yeah, these are not my characters. But yeah, got a few commission pieces to do yet. I'll actually be returning to the Mythfall universe as soon as I'm done with this guy. This piece, because I owe them a cover. So I'm gonna use the. So yeah, gonna use. Actually, decided I'd rather have this be that color because I'm capricious that way, dude. And I'm going to make these hand wrappy bits purple to kind of continue the color theme. That we got going on here. And I think I will do likewise with his mosque. Boop. Ew. Yeah. And bandolier. And filling out the mask a bit. And gonna use this color for his guns. Mama put my guns on the ground. I don't use them anymore. Cold black cloud is coming down. I feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Ooh, yeah. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. You came for the art, you stayed for the karaoke. Hey. Let's see. I was gonna ask a personal comic shop, but you said a book. Yes, I did. Jason asked if it was a personal or a comic shop, but you said a book. Yes, I did. And it. So yes, this is client work. So I always have some canon evangel thing or another going on, but because putting that out every week. But this one in particular is client work. So I feel like I want to mix it up a little bit, So I can always do a live stream with Canon Evangel stuff, but so when I have other stuff to work on, I figure so that's kind of why when I have other stuff that needs working on, I share that. I live stream doing that. Nope. I just need to do the little trim on his mask. There you go. The outline there. Then want to go back because it went outside the lines just a skosh there. And a skosh there. Cool. And away we go. Oh. And can't forget the gun. Back heel. Whoop. Fill. Boom. Boop, boop. Fill. And gotta get the sheriff star. Careful, buddy. You'll shoot your eye out. Let's see. Jason also asked, am I still doing caricatures at fairs and stuff? Yes. In fact, we were just talking about that earlier. Still doing it a bit, but not for things where I have to be like gone for, for like 10 days straight or anything like that. So weekendy stuff. Because, I like being around for my kids. Call me crazy. Let's see. All right. So let's check out. We got our detective guy, and he is also black and white. So, guess I get free reign with him as well. I've actually been thinking of dusting off my old some of the other fairs that I used to go to. My old fair routine that I quit out. I had to quit a lot of them for this, that, or the other reason. But I was taking a look at some things, and one fair that got too, and I think I might investigate. I'm locked into fairs already for this year, but next year I might investigate a few, or look back into some of the ones that I had parted ways with. Cause, like, for various reasons. One was that it had changed management and was getting too expensive. Another one was because it was a long road trip, and I didn't, and I was feeling done with them at the time. I actually took another long road trip recently, going down to Bourbon City Steam for the convention there, and that was about a 10-hour drive, and found out that I actually kind of enjoyed it and was not so bad. So I'm thinking I might dust off like I said, just all this is to say, I might check out some of the old fairs that I thought that I was done with. Oop, that's too dark. Boop, there we go. And I don't know. I keep toying around with the idea of doing the doing the Minnesota State Fair. And yeah, so which would make sense because it's like right here in town for me and everything like that. But I would either have to work for, all right, Robot Guy, also black and white. So we'll do what we can because we must. Let's see. And we'll do what we must be. We'll do what we must because we can. Let's see. So anyway, let's see. What was I saying? Ah, yes. Show. Doing the Minnesota State Fair makes sense on its face. Unfortunately, I would either have to take on if I did it all I'd either have to take on doing it all myself, and the way I set up at all the other fairs, or which is, meaning I would have to, be there in person like the entire time. And that's a long one. That is, yeah, I think that's a 12, 14 hour day they're open. So that's a lot. And, or the other option is that I could talk to one of the other the other option is I could probably get in with the caricature stand that's already there, in which case I would have to work on commission. And in also which case I'm kind of like, do I want to work on commission? And around we go. And you get used to it. You get used to a certain level of income when uh, you know, when you take you get used to a certain level of income and revenue from when you're taking on all of the stuff and you get to pocket it and take it home and keep it and that kind of thing. But so yeah, I'm not sure how I would feel about working however long the shift is at the standing caricature stand that's already there, and then coming back with um, you know, maybe 50% or 50 or 30 of what I or 30% of what I felt like I made that day. It definitely have to be a expectation adjustment. But then, on the other hand, wouldn't have to deal with all the travel and uh, doing my all the travel and setting up my own stuff, etc., etc. So, business insurance, all that crap. So there's pros and cons. Robot. Robot rock. Do 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 do. There we go. Such robot. So wow. Yeah, business insurance. Like a lot of the Jason asks, what does business insurance do in case somebody gets hurt at your stand or something like that? Yeah, pretty much. Let's see. Most fairs require all of the vendors to carry liability insurance that in turn covers the fair itself in case something happens, right? Um, so basically, in case, yeah, if somebody like trips coming out of your booth and you didn't have yeah, because you didn't have like the steps labeled properly, or for whatever reason, somebody wants to get litigious about something that happens at your booth. Basically, it's to cover the fair in the event that they're like, yeah, and lets them say, yeah, that is not our problem. It covers it's covering the fair's ass essentially. Yeah, there you go. It's covering the fair in case something happens at my booth. I mean, it's again, I draw caricatures, and I'm not sure what could really. I mean, there's a few things that could happen. I do use compressed air. I do use electrical stuff. So that is a possibility. But in 20 years of drawing caricatures, I've never had any kind of incident. I do have kids jumping around on the chairs occasionally. So that's something to be worried about, of course. But yeah, knock on wood, I've never had any issues or anything happen. Let's see. Oh, so close, guys. We're almost there. Just gonna quick bop down here and color in the micron. Boop, boop. Boop. There we go. Cool. All right. Just got. I go like a lawyer. Yeah, exactly. Like a lawyer, Jason says it sucks until you need it. So, dude. Hope I never have to need it. But yeah, what is it? I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, I suppose. So, all right. And do home stretch, last two characters. Isn't that exciting? Flat. Isn't that exciting? And boop. And K. All right. Boop. Mm-hmm. Dude. Mm-hmm. All right. Nuts. Wrong layer. All right. That's all right. When there's not a lot else around, you just select there, X, and then put them on the right layer. Put those flats on the right. Get on the right layer, you flats. There we go. All right. Looks right for the most part. All right. Merge. Do. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Another thing that I, as a straight white man, never thought I would have to consider: lipstick colors. Like what looks best. You gotta think about these things. Yes, I have. I must confess, I have found myself. The more I dig into it, the more the more interested I find myself in women's fashion. Not necessarily as a career path, but more like why for that way? Why is it? Why are things that way? That seems silly. As I'm given to understand, many women think feel as well. Well, now I got the other one yelling at me. You know, my goodness. Sorry, folks. Now my other cat is yelling at me. Yeah, you've been fed, my dude. Yeah, you going senile too? Uh-huh. Oh dear. Or because, or are you just because big brother, because your elder brother is being more talkative lately, you feel you need to be more talkative as well? Yeah, something like that. Could be. Cats, man. Nature's little enigmas. So regal and so regal sometimes, and such giant goobers other times. Let's see here. Hey, hey kids. All right, I think we're done with flats. Yay. Mm. So, taking a look at things, taking a step back. As we've talked about in the past, it's always good to like take a step back, look at what you've done, see it, and see how it all looks. So, dude's horns look are very bright compared to everything else. So I'm going to mass select them and kind of tone them down a little bit. And boot a little bit lighter. So I'm just gonna play with the saturation and the lightness here until they kind of, fall into line a little bit more. Okay, and aren't quite so punch you in the face. You know what I mean? Not so bright, not so stand outish. And patch that up. Cool. All right. Now, yay. Okay, let's see. What I think we will do next. What do I want to do next? Let's do something fun. We've got about half hour left in the live stream, so let's do something a little bit more fun here. I want to. Oop. Well, shoot. What happened there? They're going flats. Flats. Okay. So yeah, somehow, for some reason, my flats layer went up there above my ink layer. So, problem solved. Easy peasy. Just kind of weird. All right. So let's see. So I think. So I'm gonna hit save now that I got everything the way I want it. And I think that what do I want to do here? I think that I am going to address the background quick because I think that'll be just a little bit more interesting to deal with in the last half hour of the live stream. So I'm going to look up some cool spacey stuff. Nebula. Now I want a nebula. Right. And okay. No, not the Guardians of the Galaxy character. I want, yeah. Okay. So we're going to take, let's see, come here. Where'd you go? Hello. Oh, he's little. Okay. Let's, okay. So we're going to use a few of our Google image tools, like size. We're going to do large. Crank that up to large. And what do we got? Ooh, Horsehead Nebula, a classic. Do. That one, that one, that one. Okay. Man, nebulas are just so pretty. Let's take. Alright. We're going to yoink this guy. Oops. Oh, here we go. One thing we should do, though, before we get too much further, is a little something that I like to do to make sure my flats are all, you know, just make sure, get all my ducks in a row. So I'm going to set all the sample layers together, and sample all layers. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to just boop. There you go. So you can see some of the things that were supposed to be white didn't quite go through. So you can see there's like blue behind his eyes and his teeth and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go through and click all the negative spaces. And boop, boop, boop. Try to do my best to find them all. I probably won't. That's just experience talking. And go through. So find all the negative spaces where there's no character stuff. And actually, while I'm here, gonna make bring this guy's coat down. Then deselect it, and so looking for all. Yeah, that's a. Yeah, okay. I'll deal with you later. Let's see, dude. Looking. So yeah, so looking for negative space where there's no characters or anything. No character legs. Oh, forgot that guy's. Okay, and dude, we got that guy. Color that guy's pants. We'll get back to that in a minute. All right. So then, just going to inverse that selection. Grab my white, and fill. And so then when we turn on our nebula, here we go. There you go. Got that settled. All right. So next, what is boosh? There we go. Go stretch and squash and bring it in, bring it in line with what we want. There we go. Hey, look at that. All right, we're not done yet. No, no, no. Let's see. We're just getting started. So I think I'm. Okay, gonna merge those because I think that looks good, and I'm going to put a color wash layer over the nebula. So there we go, bringing it in line with all of our. So the problem now is, let's see, the problem that we're going to run into now is that if I make it too purple, it's going to, where you at? Ah, there we go. If I make it too purple, it's going to all of the purple of all that's actually on the characters is going to blend in a little bit too much. So we're going to make it a contrasty. We're gonna make it contrast with the everything else. Also, now this is a little bit tricky because the what contrasts best with purple is gold, but there's a lot of that in here already. So rather than rather than you going with purple or whatever, we're actually going to move this into maybe more of this cyan. There we go. That's going to make it stand out quite a bit better. Or even blue. Let's see, blue or cyan, what do you think? I think this one's a little bit more trendy of the moment in vogue right now. Boom. Boom. Okay. There we are. So yeah, okay. I think that's good. And then I'm going to just put another layer on top of that. And just kind of straight up take a black brush. And just take a brush, select my black color, my favorite paintbrush. Long time followers will notice that. And let's see, just going to select these. Just select some of the colors and the stars here and just kind of like go through it and make it all, just give it a little painty once over here. There we go. Painty once over. Used to dance under that name. Let's see. So yeah. And then here, just gonna go around and kind of black out the stars and the stuffs around the edges. Or, there we go. And yeah, no real method to this other than just kind of swishing around with it until I feel like it looks good. And that's really all there is to it. And this is... Then just trying to create layers here by selecting the selecting the colors and then kind of, layering them and moving them out a little bit. And moving outward as I select them and then kind of, well, yeah, just repeatedly layering on top of layering on top of layering, if that makes any sense. I hope that, never sure. I hope this makes sense to anybody but me. So now I'm going to play around with this. Like, how does that look? Sometimes, okay. Sometimes I just like to scroll down through the layer, uh, yeah, the layer modes. Just see if there's any that looks particularly cool or not that one. Just yeah, you know what I mean? Just see if there's anything that looks cooler than what I have going already. So here's normal. Gee, no. Hmm. Maybe. Letting screen. Ooh. Uh, nee, eh, eh, eh. Maybe. Color judge. And then like yeah, and then just taking note of what one actually which ones I like and which ones I think are looking best. Don't hate that one. The pin light. Exclusion doesn't okay. No, so I think either color dodge or pin light. Okay. Okay. Color dodge. Pin light. I'm gonna go with pin light because it's just a little bit more subtle. And then let's see if I can. I'll lighten up this area back here. And actually, for this bit, I'm gonna use my straight up. Okay, so boop. There you go. Just boop, boop, boop around the edges here. And then also do likewise with some black around the edge, around the outside edge. There we are. Cool. All right. It's coming together nicely. And the one, and that's right. Then the one other thing I wanted to do was select this purple color that seems to be an ongoing theme throughout. And let's see. And on top of the background inks, kind of create the okay. Select a color, another color layer, color adjustment layer, and do. And okay, got it. And then boop. Wait, that was not. No, that's the one I wanted. There we go. Okay, so that's too much has made them all completely monochrome. So going to adjust the opacity to about 50%, maybe. There we go. Maybe 3. So yeah, that's about a third. It's 50. Yeah. Okay. Subtle, but yeah. Hi. You got more to say? You. Hey, John. Welcome back. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Got a lot to say, my friend. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. Yeah, I don't like them either. All right. Mm-hmm. So anyway, let's see. All right. Now that we got all, so hey, looking good. We're in the home stretch here, definitely. So a few more things I want to take care of though. Like I said, I want to patch. Let's see. I'm gonna turn off that layer so I can get accurate color. So, hi, and that guy, and then yeah. So I'm addressing some of these negative areas. Like I said, I knew I wasn't going to get them all to begin with, but sometimes you get lucky. Let's see. Then just gotta go around and get these all out. Like I said, as I mentioned, that guy's pants. Boom. And beep. A little cleanup. And let's go turn it there and there. And uh, now I'm just going to do that again, and because here's my dirty secret. I actually should have done this the first time around. So, because I got a little bit of that fringe going on. Expand. Inverse. Oops. That was not the right one. There you go. Back. There we go. Now, okay. Alrighty then. Cool. We're in a good kind of way. So, I'm going to clean that up. Again, that little bit right there. All right. Actually, we're just going to delete that. I don't think his feet would come. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, all right. So we are in a good position to start. Oh, there we go. So let's see. Then here's more of these little dealy bobs here. Gotta cut that out. Erase that out. His hair. So many little negative space bits. But we are almost done. We're so close. Yeah, I don't know. Did cats go? I don't know if cats get hoarse or lose their voice the way humans do as well, but I am honestly surprised that he hasn't yet. There we go. All right. So that all done. We're in a good place to start our shading. And do the. Mm, all right. So there you go. All right. Now with 15 minutes left, obviously we're not going to be able to finish this entire thing in that amount of time. But I'm going to show you what we're doing for our last pass next week. Yes, that's it. That's right. Next week, our long odyssey together will finally come to an end, or at least for this drawing. I mean, I'll be doing more art and more. I'll be doing more art and more stuff and more live streams after I'm done with this illustration. I'm just saying, this one is going to be over with. Mm, there we go. And okay. So, let's start with our friend in front here. Got our layer set to our shadow layer set to multiply, and we're just going to be going through and picking out all the dark spots and laying shadow over them. Do. So, broadly speaking, stuff like under under the chin. I do use the paint bucket tool here sometimes as well for like enclosed shadowy areas. Like so. Go hat. And yeah, so this is the next task at hand, is just kind of going through and picking out all of the shadow shapes. Huh? No, yes. Save. Always save your work, kids. All these art programs out nowadays that don't require you to save stuff, and it wigs me out. It makes me nervous. Trained from a young age. Always save your work. And boop boop. Boop. All right. So let's see. In the human face casts certain shadows all the time. So there's always like, specific spots to that you always just kind of got to shade is under the eyebrows. And say, and under the nosy. And let's see, remember some people forget to put shadows on the on the actual eyeballs, but that's part of it. It looks weirder to me if you don't. And generally speaking, I like to use a your basic hard round brush, and just go around and hit V, carve out the shapes and such. And then, so take a hard round brush. So here's a cast shadow here underneath that vesty thingy. But then you also got these little striations for the wrinkles. So take a hard round brush and then a soft eraser. Draw the line, and then use the soft eraser edge to kind of smooth out or create that kind of more of a soft feather gradient kind of thing there. Bye, Jason. Thanks for tuning in. And then take a soft brush and then kind of do the same on the opposite edge. So. Let's see. Yeah. Ta-da! Got your knuckles. Boop. Back to the hard round brush for cast shadows. And then I think I'm gonna use a bucket for oops, yeah, okay. Dude. So to do all of the little rings of the notebook here, just gonna go through and select them all. Boop, and I'm going to nudge the selection. Need a marquee tool. Nudge the selection just a couple doots to the right. Take my soft round brush tool and then just kind of go along the bottom edge there. And there you go. Kind of creates that. There you go. I might nudge it over just a skosh more. There we go. And then, so you kind of have that open part hanging out on the light side of the notebook. Cool. And on the light side of the the spirals. There we go. Go. Hard round brush again. Woo! All right. Now, gentleman's torso. And use our soft round brush again at a much higher size. Like I think this is like a 400 or 500 point brush at this point, but it lets you get some of those big areas there. And then here we got the cast shadow of the hood. There you go. I'm gonna do one in the inside here. There we are. Cool. Think. All right. Got the shape, and so this is like a lot of knowing about like kind of what the shapes of the arm is on the underside, on the inside of the clothing, then just kind of like creating these little bunches here, or these little extra striations for when, for where the clothing wrinkles, and switching back and doing a bit of switching back and forth between the hard and the soft round brush. And then the hard and the soft eraser, so you can like soften the edges and such like so. There we are. And then the cuff. Soft round. The hand. And kind of, yeah. Once again, defining the hand. Boop, boop, boop. Boom. And need to fix that as well then, because that guy's shirt is coming out from under there. Let's see. Yeah, so another little area I forgot to do with his shirt, with the shirt. So this is where it gets a little bit more obnoxious, because now I need to turn that off, and then I need to. Oh, wait, no, I didn't mean that. Yeah, let's make it shirt. Shirt. I thought it was fingers, but it was shirt. You heard me. Okay, actually, no, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Which one do I want to do? Okay, doing that one then. Okay, there. Made a decision. Meh. And then knuckles. Defining the knuckles. And then, because this is shiny, a little bit reflective, the Micron pens, it's just going to be a flat shadow there, or like with no striation. And with a little bit of space between the back edge, because that means it's reflecty. And then a little bit of a cast shadow here, to indicate that it's lying against the pen. And then, hey, check that out. What progress we've made today. Good job. Good job, all of us. This is where I'm going to put a pin in it for today. But, let's see. But don't worry. Like, yep, I think next session is going to be the last. Yeah, we've got it on the ropes. We're in the home stretch. So, if you have enjoyed today's live stream, if you enjoy all the content that I send to your inbox every week, I do hope you will consider becoming a Substack sponsor or a Patreon patron. There's a lot there's a lot more great stuff behind the paywalls, including access to my 1,000+ page archive, speed drawings every month, and subscriber exclusive cartoons that I put out. Also, you become a integral part of making this whole thing happen. So let's see. So yes, I do hope you will become. So please join us and help me make more awesome arts. So I will be. I will. There will. Sad that I have to skip another week because I just got Substack and Patreon working, but. Yes, I will be back the week after next. I will be off next week because it's Memorial Day, but I will be back the week after. No, then the week after that, I'll be off for Denver Fan Expo. So, live stream will return. Don't you worry. It just might be a hot minute. At any rate, I hope to see you again when we do return. Until then, be good, but not too good.